Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Welcome, everyone, in today's webinar on leveraging digital to engage your customers in pharma and healthcare. My name is Shruti Mamdain, and I'm from Cynoteck Technology Solutions. Cynoteck is extremely grateful to have Mr. Rajneesh Sharma, Digi Health Professional, as our guest speaker, and Mr. Rajneesh Negi, Healthcare Marketing Director at Cynoteck, with us. Mr. Rajneesh Sharma is an experienced sales professional with a robust background in pharmaceutical sales, having worked with Ranbaxy and Unichem. He has also been in a sales leadership position at Micro Labs, where he was stationed in Nigeria. Besides that, he has also worked at various health tech startups. So before proceeding further, let me give a quick introduction about Cynoteck. Cynoteck is an IT solutions providing company established in 2008 with a team of 2 employees, and this year we will be completing 15 years in the IT industry with more than 150 employees. Our core service lines are CRM and ERP consulting and custom software application development. We have our presence in 3 locations, with our India office being our offshore development center, and our office in Minnesota to manage our operations in North America, and another office in Dubai to manage our Middle East and North America operations. Sorry, let me correct, North Africa operations. Cynoteck is an ISO certified Microsoft partner and Salesforce partner organization. We have worked with and supported over 300 plus clients, whether to optimize and make the most of their technology initiatives or to help them with the digital transformation initiative. We partner with our clients to turn their visions into realities. Now, I would like Mr. Rajneesh Negi to take this webinar further.
Thank you, Shruti. So hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hi, Rajneesh. Thank you so much, for giving us your valuable time on a weekend. I know it's not easy, but thank you so much. As far as I know you, Rajneesh, you started your career in sales, right?
That's correct. First of all, thanks for having me here.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to be on a panel along with you, Rajneesh and Shruti.
Thank you. Thank you. So I think you started your career in sales and then what I know is you moved into different domains, and you were also working as a BU head for a company, and then you moved to and actually made a transformation to your career by going into the digital medium, right? So it would be great if you can share something about your journey. How did it start, and how did you think about going into the digital medium and undertaking a change for your career?
Okay, so I started my career in 1999. That was an era when everything was, digital was not even talked about at that time. That time I started working in pharmaceutical sales. Then I have seen the transformation in the industry in terms of more focus on medical marketing. I worked with a medical marketing startup. Then I worked with the publishing company, which was into content dissemination in various formats. Then I moved to Micro Labs, back to pharma. Now, again, since last 2 years, I'm into healthcare technology, and I'm providing solutions on behalf of a few startups to pharmaceutical industry. So that's what has happened in last 24 years. So what was the second part of the question? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, so second part of the question was that since you made this transition into digital, right? I think today we'll be talking about a lot about how this your transformation to digital actually helped you in your career in terms of what new learnings that you got and what you would like to share from those learning with our audience today. Because in our audience today, we have a lot of professionals who are from healthcare, pharma industry, right from marketing to BU heads, CEOs. So we would like to hear that viewpoint from you.
So now, second part of the question, I will focus upon digital transformation, which I've witnessed in pharma industry into sales and marketing. So back in 2005 till 2010, a lot of efforts were put in by various startup companies or within the pharmaceutical industry to move to digital. email marketing in terms of e-signs was tried. Many companies, came up with their websites or web-enabled initiatives, but it was not picking up till 2010 at all. It was year 2013 when the doctors as well as the pharmaceutical industry started adopting digital. I saw a good change in terms of content dissemination by pharmaceutical industry in 2013, and it was the year 2013 when I saw pharmaceutical companies providing online access to the journals and CMAs to the doctors they were targeting. And then after 2013 to 2015, these various content disseminations in various formats, whether it's journal content, book content, online CME content that was seen from 2013 to 2015. Then came the era of doctor networking platforms. 3 startups were there which made an entry, and they changed the entire picture. Now, this acceptance of doctor networking platform where doctors were discussing cases with their peers or sharing various information about day-to-day practice that was happening at that time. This transformation inspired medical learning space also, and a lot of innovations in terms of digital engagement of doctors on medical learning websites started happening. Now, these days we are talking about high-end programmatic advertising, which is also catching a lot of attention, and a lot of action is expected to happen in that space in the coming time. So this is summary which I have witnessed in last 10-15 years in digital transformation.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Yes, Shruti, please go ahead.
Yes. So why should someone from pharma and healthcare choose digital and tech as a preferred medium?
So the thing is, if we see in our own life the way things have changed, as an individual, as a person, beyond irrespective of our profession, we cannot live without digital. Gone are the days when we used to go to deposit our electricity bills physically or book the movie tickets physically. So pharma has to go digital because even doctors are going through the same transformation, and there is no option to choose digital for pharmaceutical marketing. So there are advantages like faster dissemination of information. A lot has been talked about the importance of analytics tools for uniformity in messaging. We have talked about that a lot. But the basic reason why you should choose digital is there is no option to choose digital to ensure that your audience gets engaged, especially when it's healthcare practitioners.
Okay, perfect. So what should organization look for when planning for tech or digital support? Can you share a successful example of digital patient and HCP engagement?
Yeah. See, first of all, what should an organization look for tech or digital support? This is the question. So here, first of all, what we need to start is, what we need to think about is in the beginning is where to start this. Do you want to start engaging your internal field force with the digital first, or you directly want to go to doctor and get learning from there and then engage your field force digitally as well as physically? So where to start is the first question. What should be looking in the beginning of starting a digital or technical initiatives? Now, next example is how digital patient engagement can help the brand. On this, I will quote an example that I was working in Nigeria. I was handling a brand which was into management of obesity. Now the brand was doing well since 4 or 5 years, but after that there was a stagnancy in that brand. So we changed just one communication medium. We had got that OTC approval for that brand. So we chose a very simple, not a complex technology. We just created a page, Facebook page, and posted the ad on that page about that brand, in which we were putting just simple 2 pictures, before and after effects of that brand. And in the bottom, there was the call to action was click on the calling button, and the call was attended by a pharmacist based at the head office of that pharmaceutical company. And that pharmacist used to guide the patient how to take ecosystem, what all precautions have to be taken, what should be the expectations. So that helped us gaining a lot of tractions with the patients. Now we could see immediate upsurge in the sales. We could, later on, we could look for new avenues like gyms and even beyond retail pharmacies avenues to sell that product. And year after that campaign, when we compared the sales growth year on year, it was more than 200%. Now, this was a good learning for us. We didn't do anything complicated. The COVID era came, then we had another brand which was of multivitamins. So during COVID, everybody was talking about immune booster. So we chose the same platform, same technology, same strategy for that brand also. And we could see a significant upsurge in that brand sales also. So just by changing the communication medium and the audience selection, we could witness a significant increase in the sales. So
okay, in this, yeah. So I think this is a wonderful example that you have shared about this anti-obesity drug. Can you share some more details? You know, how did you think about it? What were the results that you got? How did it? What impact it had on not probably the sales, but overall the perception of the company towards digital initiatives?
So how it started was like, it was just an experiment. Shall we do it? Shall we not do it? So the idea was, why I could start it was because investment required was very, very bare minimum in the beginning. If I can talk in Indian currency, I started spending around 30,000 rupees in Indian rupees per month on that brand, on that campaign. Very limited number of audiences I selected. Then we saw some success in terms of patient calls coming. We started recording that, putting those interactions over the calls in an Excel sheet, basic Excel sheet or spreadsheet we were sharing in the office. Those responsibles were analyzed, and basis that every month when the ad was going, that ad was customized. So improvisation kept happening. So that spending became 8 times in a span of 1.5 years, because we were getting encouraging results, because the sales was growing. And moreover, beyond that, we started getting inquiries from the avenues beyond retail pharmacies like gyms or convenience stores in the country, because that brand was OTC approved. So even those stores could also stock that brand. So we started getting inquiries from even some we had oil companies. We went for demos over there. We did the free sampling. So just the simple Facebook campaigns opened up a lot of avenues for us. So that brand became basically not just that is not limited to OTC brand. That became FMCG brand. We were talking to corporates. We were doing road shows. We were showcasing that brand in the malls. Everything we started doing that just because we made a beginning with that brand on the Facebook page.
So I think what I can make out is that from this initiative, it is kind of, it opened the floodgates for the company to think beyond the traditional marketing for a drug, which was not exactly meant to be OTC, but because of your digital initiative, you started exploring the new avenues.
That's true. Yeah. I want to add one more thing, Rajneesh.
Yes.
We didn't limit that strategy just to OTC. We picked up some brands which was like semi-OTC, for example. There was another antihistamine brand which is given for allergies. So that was the smaller strength of that brand was approved in OTC, and the bigger strength was only pure prescription. So we started a campaign with that brand also. We went for TV advertisement also, because we had tasted the success in digital. We went for radio campaigns for that brand also, and we did, of course, digital, that Facebook engagement we did for that brand also. So I could see a significant upsurge in sales of 3 brands by the experiment we started with that anti-obesity brands.
Okay. Why I'm asking is that there is one question from an audience. Yep. Mr. Srinivas, he is asking that the same thing, that the issue that comes is that the organizations, they don't easily accept these initiative even today. Yep. As compared to other industries. If you would see, I'm sure with your experience based on with Dockery or right now with the new organization that you are associated with, you must have and I know about you that you have interacted with a lot of companies as someone who provides technology solutions for the pharma industry. So what do you think, or how do you convince the management to try something which is into technology? And why should they, what should a marketing person tell their management that this is the reason that probably which we can have a look at the technology as a solution for our branding.
Understood your question. So the thing is here, first of all, you should do away with all the complex technology jargons. For example, I was talking about programmatic ad campaign with various companies. Then when I used to interact with BU heads who have spent more than 35 years in the industry, they used to say, Rajneesh, just tell me in very simple language, why should I do this? I'm not interested in your technical jargons which you have been sent, which you have captured in the emails which you have sent me, in the WhatsApp messages you have sent me, and while seeking the media appointment, whatever technology jargons you've talked about, I don't want to hear about that. Then you have to change your pitch very in a very layman's language. For example, if I'm talking about programmatic advertising, at that time I will not talk about demand side platform, supply side platform, this audience segmentation, validation, all those things I will not talk about. I didn't talk about that. How I used to start my conversation over there was like, sir, if, this is very important to place the brand reminders, and our field force is putting a lot of efforts on that. So is it the same case in your organization or your business unit also, or your division also? The response will always come yes. So now, sir, with this programmatic or whatever advertising tool I'm talking about, I just want to place those reminders electronically, and at that time when doctor is in a mood to have a look at something beyond his busy schedule, at that time doctor is reading some article or going through some CME, at that time instead of seeing that reminder on the table when 50 reminders are crowded on your table, instead of that you're seeing that ad on the bottom right of your screen when you're reading an article. So which brand reminder will create a better impact? Now here, the conversation starts, and then people, they are able to correlate how they used to work when they started as a rep. And digital is just making a small change in the medium. The strategy remains, inspired by the original, experiments which have been done in the physical space. But digital just changes that what kind of medium you will be using. So if you simplify the things, by correlating it with the already existing practices and not making digital as a different strategy, it's rather making presenting digital as an extension of the existing strategy, then acceptance is better. I hope I could communicate and respond to the query which you had raised.
Yes. I think what you have just said makes a lot of sense. It's like the extension of the branding activities that already the marketing teams are doing, right? Yeah.
And another thing I want to add over here is, why you want to start too big in the beginning. What's happening is there are some companies who are ranking beyond 20 in Indian pharma industry. There are some companies who are ranking even beyond 50. There, if you go and talk about what GSKs and Pfizer's have done in the western part of the world, especially Europe and US, if you go with those examples, those will not work over there. You have to start something small. As I said, that on that obesity drug, I started with a very, very meager investment, which was like, which could have been CRM investment on a single doctor. With that monthly investment, I started that campaign, and that once the results started coming in, that was multiplied into 8 times, and I got a lot of budget for that. So you have to start somewhere very small, create a proof of concept, maybe choose a smaller geography or smaller segment of the customers with very minimum investment, which nobody will, because the thing is, people are not worried about, there are 2 reasons to get into new thing. One is greed, and another is overcoming the fear. So if you're showing just if you're just satisfying the greed of the decision maker, it will not work. What you have to address is the help the decision maker to overcome the fear of failure. So start small, give a proof of concept, and then make it big with the results.
Right, makes sense, makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Yeah, Shruti, please go ahead.
So what's the role of social media in healthcare customer engagement?
When we talk about healthcare customer engagement, in our pharmaceutical marketing, we are having 2 sets of customers. One is doctors and the patients. So patients, social media will definitely work, as I shared as example, a small size of market with at small level investment. It works, and we have seen in many cases that at patient level, social media is the best tool to engage them. But if you're trying to reach doctors on social media, I have doubts about it, whether it will work or not. Why? Because doctors do spend a considerable time, though lesser than the people in other professions on social media, but they do spend time on Instagram, they spend time on WhatsApp statuses, they spend time on Facebook feed. So they are there on social media. But a doctor's life is, very different when the doctor is behaving like an individual. at that time he's a totally different, he or she is a totally different person than as compared to what they are when they are professional doctors. So when a doctor is seeing a Facebook feed, he doesn't want to see any sort of pharmaceutical communication or anything related to academics. So if we want to engage the doctors, we should be engaging them exclusively on the platform which are meant for professional content consumption by the doctors. Whereas patients, social media is the best way to engage them.
Okay, sir.
True. I think over here, another thing is that social media that you have pointed out, right? Can you share some example wherein you helped any company or any of your client, by opting out for social media? I just want to know, what was the thought process that you used, in case if there is something that you would like to share with our audience.
So I think a social media example I've already shared with my stint in Nigeria. So social media I've already shared that. But
apart from that, when you were with Dockery or other companies.
Let me share another example on doctor engagement beyond social media.
Yes, please.
Digital engagement for doctors. I was working with a large multinational publishing house, and then they were having a journal in urology. Okay. Now, all the companies in India, there are 3 or 4 companies only who are much focused on urology, right? So we can figure out the names which those are. So all those companies wanted the sponsored subscription of that journal, either digital or the print copy. But that journal was not willing to circulate the print copies of that sponsored edition of that journal in India, because there was some violation of what kind of branding has to be put in terms of that brand guidelines. Some guidelines were violated by one Indian company few years ago. Now, then came an opportunity that Urology Society of India was after that publisher that make that journal free or at a very negligible cost to Urology Society of India members. Now, then came the giant in the urology space. They approached us that Rajneesh, I want to sponsor a journal and I want to sponsor it to all the members of Urology Society of India. Now, then I had to do a back forth calculations, and I could offer them 97% of the discount on each subscription, because I did some maths over there in internal data analysis and all in terms of what kind of revenue streams we are generating from that. And that journal was given free of cost to all the Urology Society of India members, which are more than 3,000 at that time also. Now, when doctors were getting the free of cost content through that large Indian pharmaceutical company's website, they could generate a lot of analytics in terms of how many times, what kind of profile of doctors are visiting that website, how much time they're spending on this journal, how much time they're spending on, after this journal on the other content which is published on that website. So once those analytics were there, their reps could engage doctors in a better personalized way, in a better customized communications were sent to the doctors. So any questions on this? I would like to elaborate more on this.
Not on this, but there is one question from Mr. Binaya. He is asking that, is it possible to do digital campaign for prescription drug? First of all, why he's asking is that, is it allowed or not? And then he's asking that, is it helpful to create something like a WhatsApp channel for specific brands, and you share some good scientific stuff once every week?
First of all, the challenge in not just in India, in many countries is, if we put the United States aside, you cannot advertise the prescription drugs to the patients directly. So whenever you are choosing a medium, you have to be sure that the ad is being seen by the doctor. So that challenge we have to overcome first. So creating a WhatsApp channel, how will you restrict that only doctor sees your brand advertisement and no patient sees that? So that challenge we need to take care of. So opening avenues like WhatsApp channels or social media for purely prescription drugs will have a lot of regulatory issues. Maybe most likely those companies also will not allow that. But if it's focused, if the communication is focused on patients and you're allowed to market that drug to the patients, as it happened in my case, then yes, WhatsApp channel, social media, including Facebook, Instagram, Reels, everything, you can go ahead.
Okay, so like I think what he's asking is that one of the new feature that has come is WhatsApp channel, right?
Yeah.
Personally, I feel it's very irritating, but still, it is there. So I just want to know that, he's asking that whether it will be something good that probably, if he's working for, say, company X. So company X creates a WhatsApp channel and, you are bombarding your doctors or customers with some good scientific stuff once a week.
We need to create, first of all, reasons why doctors or patients should be following your channels. If we are able to figure out that, then yes, the WhatsApp channel is as effective as it is a LinkedIn page or a Facebook page or any other Instagram handle of a company. So right now what we have to figure out is why people will start following your WhatsApp channel. What kind of marketing efforts are required over there, that we need to figure out at this stage. So WhatsApp channel is a very new thing. Of course, it's sounding irritating to everybody. Even if you go on some WhatsApp channel, we will find some sort of campaign that WhatsApp channels are irritating. Even on some WhatsApp channel over there also. So the reason is not that WhatsApp channel is a bad thing or it's actually irritating. Right now, we don't know how to use that. What is WhatsApp's long-term product plan for that? We are not very sure about that. So we are a little hesitant. So that's why we are finding it little annoying or irritating. But WhatsApp channel can be as good tool as any other social media which is there in the place. The strategy has to be same. Why people should come on your WhatsApp channel. What is in it for them? Like when you create a Facebook page, you attract the audience who are having those already social media behaviors which basis which you target them. So how you will do that targeting on WhatsApp channel is something which we need to figure out. But it can become a very promising medium of engagement of your customers, whether it's doctor or patient. But time will tell how we are going to use that. It's too early.
Okay. I think there is one more thing, there's this question also, and I was also, willing to ask you that you talked about CRM sometimes earlier.
Yep.
Right, CRM.
Yes.
So can you, Neeraj is asking, can you elaborate how does the CRM will play an important role in the digitalization of pharmaceutical organization?
CRM is something which, first of all, let's differentiate between the CRM in context in which I use CRM. It's a jargon in pharmaceutical industry where we are giving some sort of money to the doctors.
Yes.
It was used 20 years back. Now there is a lot of restriction over there, and nobody's willing to talk in that line. But CRM, when we're talking about pure CRM, CRM, the first basics is how you create your audience database over there, how you segment that audience database, how you record the behavior of your audience to various campaigns, how you customize the strategies in engaging those, whether it's the medium can be email, it can be telecalling, it can be in personal visits also. You should be able to utilize the CRM. So CRM is something where a lot of first of all, data feeding in terms of audience identification and segmentation will be very important in that. And then after that, a lot of content which has to be very, very personalized, basis your audience behaviors or audience various attributes. You need to customize the content and you have to make it very personalized. So in personalization of the content and dissemination to right audience is something where this CRM will be very helpful.
Right. I think that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Yeah, Shruti, please go ahead.
What's the key to personalizing digital interaction in healthcare, sir?
So audience selection is and segmentation is the key. So segmentation, as we usually do in case of HCP marketing or doctor marketing, is limited to geography and specialty. But segmentation is possible when audience data keeps getting enriched regularly, manually, as well as inorganically, and that segmentation is not limited to geography and specialty. Now, once we have done thorough segmentation of the audiences, the next step is content and media selection. Now, basis your segmentation, you will decide what category of content has to go to which segment of your audiences. So, yes, audience selection and segmentation is what I said will play a role in personalized digital interactions. And everybody loves the personalized content. Nobody wants a general bombarding. Like you get a lot of calls and emails from the banks. Most of them will go into the junk. So that your any kind of communication through any media doesn't go into junk. You have to personalize the interactions, and that is very much applicable in case of healthcare practitioner setting also.
Yeah, I think what you just said is actually right. Personalization is a very important point that you just made. It's actually very relevant. A lot of industries, other industries, they're already doing it. But when we come to pharmaceutical, I think uh, there are a lot of still companies who are, and the marketing people also, they're also equally responsible, in which they are actually going with a journal kind of messaging to the customers, and that is what. And why this is happening is, what my take is, just to understand this in a very simple way. I think if we take it like, we all order from e-commerce, right? E-commerce
Yes.
right now is delivering you products within 15 minutes to 1 day, 2 days. If you get any product after 3 days, you feel that it's not right. Okay. But if you compare this with the pharmaceutical industry, you still get medicine after 3 days or 1 week or after 15 days,
Yep.
right? And that is where the customer is the same. He is getting the a very aha moment from different other industries, but
True.
very a painful experience from the pharma industry.
Yeah.
And that is where this personalization and everything comes. So wonderfully said. Thank you. Yeah, Shruti, please.
So there is a last question from my end, that which emerging technologies could transform customer engagement in healthcare?
Oh, so technologies are we have talked about a lot, and the technologies remain same. What we have been talking about. What will make a difference is what kind of expertise you deploy in leveraging those technologies. Now, for example, you guys are using WhatsApp tools a lot. You are sending a lot of personalized messages to the audiences whom you want to reach to. But I'm sure it doesn't happen like one fine day we wake up and I decide that I have to send this forward to this WhatsApp group. A lot of homework is required in that. So even WhatsApp requires a different kind of expertise, and the technology in WhatsApp is also evolving. And there are a lot of WhatsApp technology solution providers are emerging up in the market because expertise is required. Now, next is email marketing is another expertise. Many CRM companies are running courses for training you on running how to run the email campaign. So running email campaign also need an expertise. Ad campaigns we talked about, programmatic marketing or Google AdWord marketing, that require a lot of skills and a lot of technology upgradation keep happening. So you need to be the professional who's running those campaigns has to be up to date with all the newest development in those areas. So more than which technology we have to use, what is required is what kind of expertise is required to each kind of technology. That is more important.
Okay. I think over here, in this question only, answer only, I would like to ask you one more question from Mr. Srinivas. He is saying that academically, many doctors are already engaged with top Indian companies or multinational companies, right? Through different methods and activities. He's asking that how about creating a patient acquisition plan digitally? Have you worked on any project where you handled something like this, where you had to engage with the patients?
Patients. See, the
Yeah.
thing is nowadays, another thing which is emerging in the market is on behalf of doctors, pharma companies are trying to engage with their patients, where they keep the objective is like those are again patient engagement organizations are coming up. You would have come across many on when you do the internet search. So when you put the keyword patient engagement solutions. Now, what happens is in that case, what you can do is you can deploy a CRM where doctor will enroll the patient on that CRM. And you can provide them various services which can be like free dietitian consultations, and anything which is free patient would like to get engaged. Now, when patients enroll for those campaigns, your dietitian can keep calling those patients at agreed upon intervals and give them various value-added guidance on how to adhere to the therapy. In those kind of solutions, you have to keep the objective clear, that patient will first of all adhere to the treatment regime, come back to the same doctor on scheduled follow-up visit date, and go for all the tests which are recommended by the doctor and get those tests done on the time. So by doing this, you are rather you are helping your doctor to retain the patients and manage the disease better. So patient counseling is something which one route which everybody can take, and for that a lot of testing is required yet. You can start small and then later build big. But yes, this is quite this is very much possible in that space, especially in case of chronic therapies.
So there's one more question from Jagjeet Kohli. He's asking, in 2023, what can be the most challenging part of digital transformation in healthcare and pharmaceuticals?
First of all, biggest challenge which has always been there is changing guidelines by the government. So last month was very troublesome when I spoke to many marketers in various companies. So guidelines keep changing. Now, what kind of communication can be used? What kind of channels can be used? Like 2 years ago, if we were sponsoring any sort of CME or master classes to the doctors, that was quite legal. But since 2022 April, a lot of transformation has happened, a lot of legal changes have happened. So now we are very much confused that which channels we should opt. So challenge will be fluctuating government guidelines in terms of regulating the healthcare practitioner engagement. And we need to be very much, not just well versed, but very much updated about that. We should be focusing upon a lot of energy on that. It shouldn't happen. Last year, what happened was, when I was meeting people in 2022 March, they had already finalized their year-long marketing plans. But in April, the guidelines were changed. Now, entire plan which was made and approved for the year, even some awards were given to the pharmaceutical marketeers. After that, they had to redo their sessions. So whatever you're planning today, what if there should be scope of improvisation? What if I need to change my marketing plan completely? And that becomes very difficult when you're planning a long-term digital roadmap. Improvisation in digital, because the digital roadmap is not like today I will engage like with this medium and this tool, tomorrow I will change my strategy. It doesn't happen in case of digital. Digital has to be continuous engagement. Perseverance is required. But when guidelines will keep changing, you need to be, a lot of improvisation at very regular intervals will be required. So that is the biggest challenge.
Very rightly said, Mr. Rajneesh. I think that's a very, very valid point. The onus is not only about following what is the guidelines. It is about, what I feel is that it is about having a very clear mindset when you talk about digital transformation, because digital transformation is not creating say a Facebook page or an Instagram post, or for that matter just doing a few webinars or all those things. It has to be a very well thought of strategy. Everything, every social media or every strategy in digital might not be applicable or might not be even right for you. It is very much possible that it's very important that the companies and the marketeers, they try to find out which is the one single tool which is going to be very helpful for them. Right. And I think that is, and you have very rightly put it, that it's very important not to focus, because the guidelines will keep on changing, be it the global guidelines, company guidelines, government guidelines, everything. But if the thought process is correct, I think that will be half the battle won. But yeah, very rightly said. Thank you. Yeah. So over here, guys, if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask in the chat box, right? And we'll, I'm sure Mr. Rajneesh will be very happy to answer it. Yeah, Mr. Rajneesh, so my next question is that in today's scenario, where because in our audience there are a lot of young marketeers also, one of the very important question is that how do you go ahead with while you are planning something for, say, the doctors? What should be the say 1 or 2, 3 points that the pharmaceutical companies or the healthcare companies, they should keep in mind when they are approaching the doctors or the patients? What should be the thought process?
Not 2, 3 things, but just one thing. What does the audience want? That should be the first thing. Because what you want to communicate, you want to disseminate information about your drug, you want to tell how your drug is superior. That is very boring thing. Nobody wants to know why this XYZ pharmaceutical company is good, or this drug is very good for my patients. What I want to know about various development in disease management, that is what I want to know. Or how I can manage my patients better, that I want to know. Give me information which I can utilize. Don't just keep telling me why your product is better. So from product to service transformation is something which we need to keep thinking
about. Okay. So it's kind of saying that adding value to their customers, right?
Yeah. See, the thing is, there is one thing which all these, as you said, that there are many youngsters in this discussion today. They might have gone through that jobs theory in their MBA days. How your product will help your clients to do their jobs better. So that is quite applicable in this healthcare physician marketing setting also. If you keep telling them that my drug is more efficacious, that bioequivalence is there, all those stuff, doctor is not interested. If you're telling something, this is how my organization will help you to do your job better by providing these services, and in the meanwhile I will be promoting my drugs also, which are also good, then that communication will be more effective.
Yeah. So I think with this, we come to the end of today's discussion. Mr. Rajneesh, thank you so much for taking time, again from your weekend for us. It was wonderful interacting with you and to understand about some of the very good examples that you shared, from as simple as doing something on Facebook with a simple call to action of calling, or about the thought process when someone has to develop a digital strategy. So thank you so much for giving us a time. Thank you all the audience who have joined us today and who have asked questions. Thank you so much, and we look forward for your feedback. Feel free to reach out to us, guys. This is as you can see in front of your screen. We are from Cynoteck, so we are based out of Dehradun. So if you're looking for any technological solutions for your organizations from CRM or digital part, feel free to reach out to us. We have our offices in US, UAE, and India, and we are right now, very soon going to take part in Zytex also, which is happening in Dubai. So feel free to reach out to us, to our team in Dubai, if you are over there, and we welcome all of you. And for any queries, feel free to reach out to us at marketing@cynotech.com. So thank you, Mr. Rajneesh. Thank you, Shruti, and thank you,
very
everyone.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.